welcome back to another Stratman Steve episode. It's been a while. Basically, come back on here because we need to talk about how you sort of bond with certain guitars, and I don't mean that in an intimate way, like go to bed with them or anything like that. If you play guitar for a long time, you kind of like understand the contents of this video. Like, have you ever been in a situation where you know, you either have to borrow a mate's guitar, or you go into a guitar shop and you're trying out this, that and the other, and for some reason there's some sort of like power block on there, and you feel like you can't play the same way as you play like one of your favorites. And that can be for three reasons really. So one of them could be the actions to eye. It could be that, you know, the guitar sounds cheaper, so you know, when something sounds a bit tinny and a bit thin, you kind of feel like, oh, do I really want to be playing this? And kind of lose your mood for playing. And the other reason is, obviously, it's just not what you're used to. And I feel like another thing as well, for me especially, like, you'll see what guitars I don't bond with in this video. But, like, for me, is certain guitars have to play, you have to play them a certain way too. Like, everyone associates a Telecaster or a T-style copy, you know, being associated with country. Obviously, that's not always the case, you know. There's a lot of blues rock guitarists that do play Telecasters and everything. But I just feel like the sound a Tele gives you, and, you know, pardon me for, you know, being a bit dumb towards how everything works on a Tele. I just feel like it's too simple for me. I don't know. There's something about it that just doesn't ring with me. But anyway, this video is all about guitars I bond with and why I've bonded with them, and you know why I can't play certain guitars the way I play my certain style ones. So to begin with, this was my very first guitar ever. It's not a proper Fender, I will put that out there. This is kind of natural wear, but there's also a bit of unnatural wear as well. Like, definitely the back is definitely. Anyway, forget all that. It was Encore originally. Now it does have a proper Fender neck. And it has custom shop Tex-Mex pickups in. Obviously, with the name Stratman Steve, you associate me with a Strat, right? So predominantly, yeah, I love these guitars because they're so versatile. You can get so many tones out of them. I'd imagine, I've never owned a HSS style Strat, but imagine you know you could get even more tones out of that. So as I say, this was an Encore, but obviously I've modded it, done my own thing. But it's like anything, you know, you can buy any cheap guitar nowadays, and with the modern technology for music that we've got right now, you can make anything sound awesome anyway. But again, it still comes down to feel. Like, if the guitar doesn't feel right, you're not going to be able to play in the same sort of style. So my first guitar was an Encore. It's now been modded to like a Strat, even a better Strat really, higher end sort of thing. But you know, this ain't the only guitar you'll see me playing. I do own a proper Fender Strat. I'm not getting into all the controversy about, oh yeah, this is a S-style, you should be banned from playing it. You know, let's not get into all that nonsense. But yeah, for me, Strats, I just find they're so versatile, again, with modern technology as well. I feel like I don't have to, you know, have humbuckers everywhere and all this and that. So we'll get on now to the next guitar that I bonded with. The next guitar for me, this was the second guitar actually I ever purchased. Also been modded with Wilkinson humbuckers, PAFs, or whatever you want to call them. Gibson Les Paul style. Now, for a while, when I changed to this guitar, I kind of like started playing better immediately. Obviously, everyone wants to know. You know, and Slash was kind of one of my heroes back in the day. Not so much now, and no disrespect to Slash at all, but like for me, it's not my type of vibe anymore. I mean, he's a great guitarist, and yeah, I still listen to his soloing and everything. I still get inspired by it, but I kind of like, I feel like I improved on a Les Paul because for whatever reason, I don't know why, it feels like to me every Les Paul that I've played, the action's lower, is a bit easier to play, you know, fast runs sort of thing. It wasn't until like hearing Joe Bonamassa play, and I was like, oh man, I need to start playing my Les Paul again. So this is another guitar I bought with, just for the simple reason, I feel like it's easier to play than a Strat, but then again, I feel like you're limited to the sounds and tone. So now we move on to PRS. Now, I bond with this guitar because, one, I've always liked Santana. Two, as a Floyd Rose, I used to own like the EV8 Stripe series, the very first ones that come out. I had a black and yellow one, but because of like moving out of my family home and then starting up a new family and flying the nest, I was like, I gotta sell some gear, you know, to pay for this mortgage or whatever. So I got rid of that. A couple of years later, I see Anderton's put this PRS on an epic deal. I was like, I have to try it, you know. You know, PRS must be good if, you know, John Mayer's moved on to them and Philip Sace now owns, well, you know, Ed Sheeran. I was like, they gotta be pretty decent. So off the cuff, just bought it and fell in love with it straight away. Like as soon as I got it, I you know, I couldn't put it down. Low action again, feels like a Les Paul to play, even though there's 24 frets. But like, man, just to do it. So I bought it to replace that EV8 Stripe series. Love it. Onto guitars I don't bond with now. This is a T-style copy. It's gone for a lot, but straight away, even acoustically, like the action's way too high. It's just open for too many mistakes, and I'm sure, you know, guitars you don't bond with could, you know, come down to setup as well. Like obviously, there's certain ways a guitar could be set up to play better, but for me, like every Telecaster I've ever picked up, and I'm sorry for whoever's listening who's offended by this, I just feel like there's just something about them that stops me from showing my true potential on guitar. Anyway, this is what it sounds like. Now, I've played that run in every video, but I really feel like I have to feels like I'm playing like a 12-string acoustic. It's just too hard. And when I'm bending a note, like... this finger here is almost going underneath the next string. Yeah, I'm playing it, but it just doesn't... just doesn't talk to me like the others do. And that's a big thing for, like... it's almost like, you know, the one chooses the wizard, Harry. You know, guitars choose the guitar player. It's down to the individual. It's down to their feel. It's down to their touch. It's down to the way they dial it in. It's down to the way they set up. There's so many variables, but, you know, everyone who's anyone, they'll always find one guitar that they just don't get on with. And, you know, that's fine. That's a good thing. And like I said before, like, in my next video, it'll be more like, you know, how can you make a cheap guitar sound awesome? Because with the modern technology we have today, you can. But, you know, whenever you pick up a guitar and you think, oh, I'm having a bad day or whatever, it's probably not you as a player. It could be sometimes what you're playing. Let me know what you think about this video, and remember, always end in a...